Hello viewers, Valen Quill has returned from oblivion with another episode of Whether or Not It's Worth Your Time. Tonight's film is Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. After suffering from an intense battle with Biollante and the poison of the anti-nuclear bacteria in his system, Godzilla slumbers at the bottom of the sea. Time travelers, referred to as Futurians, come to tell Japan if Godzilla isn't erased from time, Japan will cease to exist. Their solution is to go back to 1944 to completely remove Godzilla from the equation. Unfortunately, the Futurians have ulterior motives with replacing Godzilla with King Ghidorah to destroy Japan and prevent them from becoming an economic superpower. But this plan backfires and Godzilla is created anyways, destroying the Futurians and King Ghidorah. The director's chair was once again helmed by Kazuki Amori, whom directed both Godzilla films, Godzilla vs. Biollante and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, and he wrote both films. Here it is, folks. This is the reason why we didn't see Godzilla films in America for 7 years. This is known as one of the most controversial Godzilla films because of its World War II depictions. CNN ran a story about the film being anti-American for showing American soldiers' deaths during the appearance of Godzillasaurus' attack. Also, the Futurians being Western didn't help either. Even Ishiro Honda, the master himself, had problems with it. I personally myself didn't have a problem with it. The film takes place during World War II. You're going to see things you don't like, but I don't believe it's enough to ban the film. The rules of time travel in this film are never thoroughly explained, except that you cannot have two people in the same place at the same time. Otherwise, one will disappear. Other than that, it just gets way too convoluted. There are tons of theories online explaining the timeline and the paradoxes, and Toho themselves released an explanation. However, that is just as confusing as the others. A big problem I have with this film is King Ghidorah's origin story. Being born from 3 adorable Furby creatures only to become a puppet for the Futurians always bothered me. It's King Ghidorah. He is a monster from outer space that is an infinite terror, like an eldritch horror. And also, we can't forget the hammy American performances back again and just as terrible. Despite all these flaws, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is still an epic film. Ghidorah Goji is one of the most ferocious interpretations of Godzilla, even surpassing Bio Goji in the intimidating factor. Special effects master Koichi Kawakita returns, delivering some of the most epic kaiju battles seen in the Heisei series. Kosuke Toyohara and Anna Nakagawa chemistry keeps you invested in the story, and we can't forget the elusive and intimidating Robert Scott Field as the android M11. But the performance that left a mark on my heart was from Yoshio Tsuchiya as Yasuaki Shindo. The scene where him and Godzilla are staring at each other in the skyscraper haunts you. There have been many theories online discussing the connection between Shindo and Godzilla in this final scene and what was going on through their minds in that time, and whether or not Godzilla actually hated Shindo. I always interpreted it as Shindo didn't want to live anymore, and he felt guilt for what he created, that he didn't save Godzilla in his dying moments. And Godzilla knows that, and he knows that Shindo doesn't want to live anymore. And some people have said that Godzilla hated Shindo and he was all that he knew, and there was rage, and that's why he incinerated him. I don't believe that, because when you look into Godzilla's eyes, you see him crying. He obviously has emotions, and he remembers Shindo because Shindo actually tried to save him. My friends, I believe this film is worth your time because it blends old with new, harkening back to the Showa era, and blending the darkness of the Heisei era. Not even the enigmatic timeline can keep this movie down. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you all join the madness.